I'm so excited. This is like my favorite part. We've worked so hard and we've gone through the 5 steps and here we are. So in the chat right now, who remembers step one? Step one, just type it in the chat real quick. Prospect. Thank you, Pam Callahan. Prospecting. Okay, here we go. Guys, we are all somebody's prospect. We are all somebody's customer. Okay, so you need to start with prospecting and you can go back and watch that. All right, who knows number 2? All right, you have this prospect. This is really, really key right here is to build rapport, build a relationship, gain that know, trust, and like factor. All right, you can tell me number 3. You've got a prospect, you've gotten a relationship going. What's number 3 going to be? Value. Good job, Robin. Create value. We are going to create value. All right. We are going to share how they can cook healthy meals fast, how they can how they can save money, how they can save space, how they can save waste, how they can have a debt-free holiday. We're going to create value here. And I spilled the beans. Number 4 is, you know what, you could have built that relationship and created that value, but there still might be some objections. All right. Okay. And we're going to overcome that because we talked all about that last time. So here we are. We're all done. We've got this great relationship. We've built this value and we've overcome some objections. And now it is time. And guys, if you've done 1 through 4, you can call it this discovery section, whatever. If you've done this part, this next step, closing the deal, is going to come naturally. It is going to happen without too much effort on your time if you really spent your time on building that relationship and creating that value. Okay, so let's get into this. You're going to gain the commitment here. You're in control of your business. All right. So step 5 is closing this deal. I found this really interesting YouTube, and his name is Mark Washak, and he really is more about more of sales of bigger companies, bigger products, and everything. But I felt like these 17 tips could really apply to our business. Okay, so let's really quickly, we're going to go over them. And first, he talked about stop being like others. Stop being, like that other salesperson. Okay, be different. You get really excited. You give them the pitch about the product. You're like all gung ho, and you're talking, and you haven't taken time to listen to them. Okay, so be different, and then take a calculated risk. Take a risk, guys. If you're feeling that your customer is like, starting to like, kind of have the glazed look in their eyes, maybe you just say, hey, I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe right now isn't a good time for you to host. Is that right? Okay, so take that risk and ask that question. Next, we're going to get them talking as much as possible. They're going to give you the clues. They're going to be sharing what their needs are. Okay, so really keep that customer engaged. Listen more, talk less. And a lot of these overlap each other. Okay, listen more and talk less. And he talks about a rule coming up real soon. By the way, nobody cares about the company. Okay, they only want to know how it's going to benefit them. Okay, I'll just give you an example here. We were building a patio, a sunroom for my mommy last year, and we had a couple of different contractors come out and give us quotes. And this one person comes out and he could not stop talking about how he was their top seller. Now, how their company did this and how their company was this and how their company did millions of dollars in business. And I'm like, I really don't care about your company. I don't really care that you have $1 million deals. I've got this little sunroom that I want for my mommy. How are you going to help me? So obviously he did not get the sale. All right. So next, 6, quit pitching. All right. Engage the prospect in the conversation. All right. So you could go on and on and on about how much you love the pressure cooker and da 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 da. But if you're talking to someone who, you know what, doesn't microwave, then you're talking to the wrong person. Okay. Dig into their challenges. Are they having problems with wasting food? Are they having problems with keeping their food fresh? Are they having, you know, um, some some issues with what to cook? All right. So dig into what their challenges are, and you can see that if you were doing steps 2 and 3, building that rapport and creating that value, overcoming objections, this is going to come naturally. Okay. So a lot of this kind of just wraps all together. Disqualify the non-fits, kind of like what I was just talking about. If you're talking to someone who is doesn't microwave cook, then and you've been talking about the grill and you've been talking about the stack cooker. Oh my goodness, you can make a meal in 30 minutes, da, 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 da. And they're not into microwaving, then that's not the right fit for them. Okay. So really get to know your customer and your prospect. Help them understand the upside. Did you know that, what, if you um, the pressure cooker, you're looking to cook healthier meals, you control what you're going to put in that. You control the sodium. Okay. You control that it's an organic. You control that you're not putting fillers into your food. You get to do that. You get to put everything in that pressure cooker. And instead of, that 5, 6, 8 hour crock pot recipe, you can do this in 25 minutes or less. So you're going to help them see that upside. Okay. 10, establish a budget later on in the discovery process. What happens here is the average sellers, they lead with price. The top sellers, okay, they lead with value. Price is not talked about. They are going to lead with value. There is going to be so much value built up here that by the time you get to that point, it's going to be, hey, I want this. You've created that much value. Okay. Number 11, know their process for buying. And again, he was talking about more of those bigger sales, like $100,000 sales and everything. And so they had a process for how they're buying. So we don't really need to worry about that one as much. But number 12 was keep the presentation brief, key points only. All right, key points only. And I think this is going to tie into something else here coming up soon. But number 12 is spend the top sellers they found spend more time in steps 2 and 3, building that rapport and creating that value. Okay. So by the time they get to the presentation, okay, it's kind of already done. I think it's next. Yes, here it is. So it kind of leads to this rule that he created. He calls it the 60-second rule. Okay. Never go more than a minute. And they found that people, after about 60 seconds of someone talking, they're kind of like losing interest. Okay. So you've got to keep them engaged in the process. Okay. So if you're doing a live demonstration, you're going to be having them chop something. All right. Or I'll say, hey, who's got a tip on how to not cry with the onion? Okay. Rather than me just talking and telling them, I want them to be engaged and let them create the answers and let them create value around the product. Okay. So I love that 60-second rule. 14, we've got feedback loops. Ask questions, get feedback. All right. So as you're talking and you're getting in there, you know what? Would that work for you and your family? I know it's the two of you. How about making a beautiful turkey chili or a veggie chili? If they're vegetarian, how does that sound to you? Keep asking those questions so you're getting that feedback and you're seeing whether the interest is a yes or no. Okay. 15, stop closing. So after building that rapport and that, I'm going to say this a million times. Okay. Build that rapport, create that relationship. Okay. Get them to trust you and like you, create that value around that product, solve their problems. How is that Fridge Smart set going to save them money? If they're, trying to save for their kids' school or supplies, or they're going on a vacation, or they've got a credit card debt to pay. What if they could save money, okay, on not throwing away vegetables, okay? So so it's really solving their problems. And 16 is have next steps. So if you're going to be bringing someone into this business, all right, and you just brought them in and they're all excited and everything, you've got to make sure they know their next steps for success. Set them up for success, all right? Just don't, sometimes we get really excited and we're, oh my goodness, yeah, so-and-so joined. And you know what, they might be a go-getter, but they still need you. They need us, okay? So have clear scheduled next steps. Get them into the Facebook groups, get them connected to Thursday night training, get them connected to Tuesday night cooking events. Everything is done to create success for them, but we have got to make sure they're clear about it and they have those next steps. And finally, he calls it SW cubed N. All right, for your math geeks out there. All right. Some will buy, some won't. So what next? Okay. And Pam shares this all the time. You know what? Just bring them in and let God sort them out. All right. Some will, some won't. So what? Go on to the next person, guys. There are so many people in this world. I just did a big event. A lot of us just did fairs over the weekend. And guys, some walked in. Yeah, no problem. Next person walked in. Oh my goodness. All right. Loved it. I can't even tell. I sold like 3 pressure cookers. I sold 2 stack cookers. I sold my grill. Okay. I didn't have anything left on my shelves, but I was like hoping I'd make it to Monday. Okay. And it was just fun connecting with people, building relationship, and going from there. So how about for our business here? Okay, let's gain that commitment and let's close that deal. All right, guys, you're in control. Don't be hesitant. Don't feel like I can't talk about the pressure cooker. It's whatever it is. Okay, I can't talk about the grill. It's $2.99, whatever it is. Okay. Oh, you know what? Don't hesitate. Don't feel that. Be confident. You've got an amazing product that's going to solve solutions for people, and they need you. Okay. So I love this kind of a close. It is offering choices. All right. So try not to ask those yes or no questions like, hey, do you want to have a party? Okay. That's a real easy no. We're all trained to say no, guys. All right. You know what? Julie, if you were to have a get together, would you like to do it live in your home, or would you love to do it virtually? Or you know what? We have another option. We have our bingo events where we just have multiple parties all at one time. There's lots of parties going on. What sounds better to you? It's a choice they're making now versus yes or no. You know, if we were to do this, would you like to do it during the week, or do you want to have it over the weekend? You want to have it during the day or the evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and just keep drilling down. If you're recruiting, if you're recruiting someone, you know what? Would you love the virtual kit? You get all the same benefits. You're just not going to have any product, but it's our lower cost way to start your business. Or would you love our deluxe kit? Okay, choices, choices, choices. All right, it is choosing versus a yes or no. Assumptive close. All right, if you've been building that rapport and you've got that value built and you've overcome some objections, this is my favorite one. You know what? I'm looking forward to helping you have a debt-free holiday, Jane. Okay, let's set up your grand opening event. Can next Wednesday work for you? Okay, I can't wait to help you earn that grill for free or half price. Let's get this started. Do you want to do live or virtual? I'm just going to assume they're going for it. Okay, it's called an assumptive close. And then, okay, you've done all this. There's always going to be that person that just needs a little more. That's okay, guys. That's okay. They're still interested. They just need a little bit more. You know what? I'd love to invite you to our cooking show. We have one every Tuesday night. You're going to see our top leaders share one of our awesome products, and you're going to see some fun recipes and some prizes. Okay. Or would you love to come to one of our bingo events? Okay. So offer that next step if you don't have. They're still needing that little bit of something. Okay. All right, really quickly, here we go. Prospect, build that rapport, create that value, overcome the objections. And this next step, number 5, is gonna come naturally. I love this quote right here. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. The best possible way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate with all your intelligence, all your enthusiasm on doing today's work superbly today. All right. By Dale Carnegie. So we're going to wrap it up here, guys. I think. Where's my next screen? I just picked out a couple of quotes that really kind of put it all together. You know what? Buyers do business with you, not with your company, and not with your technology. If you're not taking care of your customers, your competitor will. Approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her solve a problem or achieve a goal, not selling Tupperware, not selling a product or a service, guys. You're helping them live a healthier lifestyle, saving money, keeping their veggies fresh, all right? Helping them have a debt-free holiday, Christmas. It's not your customer's job to remember you. It's your obligation and responsibility to make sure they don't have the chance to forget you. It makes me so sad when people come in and they say, oh, I went to a party or had a party. And I'm like, oh, who was your consultant? And they don't know. All right. You need to make sure they know who you are. And finally, you don't close a sale, you open a relationship if you want to build a long-term successful enterprise. And I will share with you, I don't know, I was going to cry. I have this beautiful couple that I've seen at the fair year after year. And this was the year that they decided to have a party. Guys, don't worry. Don't push it. Don't worry about the sales. Don't worry about dating that party. Build that relationship. And when the timing is right, it is going to happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this series. I hope we are all going to close the sale and we're going to have the biggest, best fall season ever, guys. Let's do it.